So the evolution of solar sales is the traditional dealer model has done it wrong. There's a couple companies that try to fix it and do it right, but they're not. See, here's the thing. At Oncore Solar and Build Network being the parent company, we do not set people up as transactional salespeople. Now, here's the deal. Don't get me wrong. If somebody wants to be just a sales rep and go out there and be transactional, make a transaction, make a commission, and keep doing that until the day they die, that's perfectly fine. They're generally not a good fit for our company, even though they can and still make more commissions. But what I mean by that is this. I believe that you should be striving for more than just being a transactional salesperson, because here's the deal. Building your own solar brokerage is a key. Being able to sell nationwide is a key. Being able to sell via Zoom is a key. Being able to get warm market leads that have the highest rate of being closed, that is the future of solar sales. And a lot of companies, here's the thing, the problem is that a lot of these companies, the only people that are getting wealthy, the only people that are getting rich are the owners of the company or the district managers, the managers that are above overriding the whole company. They're the only ones that qualify to make overrides, right? The dealer model is broken. So let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, you've got a traditional dealer company and they say, we're going to pay you a $2.40 rent line. So you're on a $2.40 rent line. Can I recruit some people? Yeah, go ahead and put them on a higher rent line. What are you going to put them on? Maybe a $2.50, $2.60 rent line, so you make that 10, 20 cents override. If they go recruit somebody, they're going to put them on a $2.80 rent line. They go recruit somebody, they're going to put somebody on a $3 rent line. That's why these people are creating their own competition. The traditional dealer model is broken because you're creating your own competition, and that doesn't work. So for example, what credibility do I have to talk about this? I started during the pandemic in the solar industry, okay, with a company that had a kind of a similar model to what we have now, but just, a little bit different, right? But in a 3-year period, during the pandemic is when I started with no experience. I started building a team. I personally closed over 320 deals in 3 years from home via Zoom, working part-time. My team and I did a combined of 2,100 solar installations in a 3-year period. Every month, we have more sales reps than the month before. How is that? Because if you look at a traditional dealer model, here's a problem. If you got a guy that's a manager, he manages a team. Let's say he's got 8 to 10 reps. I guarantee you, Jay, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, he still had the same average, 6, 8, 10 reps. A year prior, he has 6, 8, 10 reps. It's a revolving door. That doesn't work. You can never build a sustainable passive income because you're training your competition. You're putting all this energy. Let me go on the field with you. Let me go ahead and train you, go on the field with you, put my blood, sweat, and tears into you, get you trained. Once you get some experience, here's what happens. You meet a guy from another company, says, hey, you're on a $3 rent line. You're on a $2.80 rent line. Come over here. We'll put you 20 cents lower. You're at $2.80. We'll put you at $2.60. So now you got your guy that you spent a year training, 2 years training. You're finally making some overrides. And then guess what? Somebody takes your guy. That guy says, oh man, I could go over there and make what this guy's making. And it's a revolving door. They're constantly training their competition. But here's the thing. It's not even really their fault. I'll tell you why. They don't know how to create comp plans. See, I came from the network marketing world, building comp plans that pay through unlimited depth, very intelligent comp plans. Because what you have to understand about any sales organization is this. You've got to understand that comp plans drive behavior. The comp plan drives the behavior. If I've got a comp plan where I say, I'm going to just put, as a company, I'm going to put all of these guys on this rent line. All the people I personally recruit as a company, I'm going to put them on this rent line. They could go ahead and pay people above, a couple cents above. So they make the override. I don't care. As the owner of the company, it doesn't matter to me what Johnny is paying his guys. I'm overriding every deal. I'm overriding every single deal regardless. It's irrelevant. Those guys, though, they're constantly on the field and they're going to be door to door. I say D to D until the day you're DEAD, right? Door to door until you're dead. How was it that I started on the doors? Don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against doors. I was on the doors for 11 weeks. In 11 weeks, I built a team of 40 people. 11 weeks, 40 people. I became a closer, which we call a mentor in our company. Okay. I became a mentor in those 11 weeks. With a team of 40 people, I never had to look for a lead ever again because the business model produces that. I got a guy last month that made $100,000 in commissions from home via Zoom, never knocked on one door. As a matter of fact, not only did not knock on any door, never entered any of the customer's home to present. He was in Atlanta, closing deals in California, in Texas, in New Jersey, in Florida, from home via Zoom, a rock a month, from home via Zoom without selling nobody. Not to mention that he's building a passive income and a residual income, which, by the way, no other company offers the opportunity for residual income and passive income. Some maybe offer a little bit of passive income, but no such thing as residual income. So we are absolutely, without a doubt, putting the industry on notice. The only reason why most people are not here yet is because they haven't heard about it yet, but that's just a matter of time. Upward mobility means this. Is it politics based to get promoted, or is it merit and production based? Unfortunately, in the not only traditional solar dealers, home security dealers have the same problem. Sales organizations have the same problem. Just sales organizations in general. For example, let's say you own the dealer and you and I are buddies. We've known each other for over 10 years, which is the truth. What happens is this. Let's say you started your own dealer and I come to you and say, hey, bro, I got some experience. I got some sales experience or some solar experience. Hook me up. You're going to hook me up with the best absolute deal that you could hook me up with. If I introduce Johnny and Johnny comes in, there's no way Johnny's ever going to make more than me because I'm your boy. We're boys. You're not going to undercut me to give that dude a better deal. So he'll always be stuck making less money. The way that we design our complex, we made it simple. We say, look, it doesn't matter who you know. Doesn't matter what you know. You come in and this is key, an equal opportunity. What does that mean? That means that when you come in here, whatever we make on the profit of the sale that you made, 70% of that goes to you. If the average profit is $10,000. So $10,000 profit, you brought that sale, great. We write you a check for $7,000. That's yours. Out of the $3,000 that's left, the company doesn't even keep the whole thing. What they do is that they'll keep out of the $3,000, they'll keep half, they'll pay the other half in overrides. So for those people that decide to build a team, they will override all of those sales, right? So we truly pay 85% to the field, 70% to the sales rep, the other 15% in overrides is what we pay to the field. And it doesn't matter that you're my brother-in-law, that we went to high school together, that we've known each other for 10 years. All of that is irrelevant. It is merit-based. The same way that you get to become a closer, a mentor in our company, it would take you, is the same way it would take that guy, the same way it'll take the next guy. So it's an equal opportunity with upward mobility. So for example, for manager, it takes 10 team installs in a 60-day period. That's 5 a month. It doesn't matter whether you know the owners of the company or you know the manager or you know another director in the company. That's irrelevant. Did you and your team do 10 installs in a 60-day period so you could get bumped up to a 30% override on your front line and a 10% override through unlimited levels in your organization? So the landscape right now in solar is the traditional dealer model, which we just talked about. You also have companies that are trying to do kind of like a direct sales network marketing type of model, which are cool. They're significantly better than the traditional dealer model. I'm personally not a fan because here's the deal. I did 2,100 installs with what's called the unilevel, 6-tier level. So whether 6 tiers, 7 tiers, 8 tiers, those are, once again, they're better than the traditional dealer model, but those compensation plans, once again, they're called the unilevel compensation plan. They're very old, right? There's a reason why any new network marketing company is not going that route. That's the reason why we decided we don't want to go that route. For example, I have a friend who, his name's Mario, works for a life insurance direct sales company. With a $100 average monthly policy, the guy makes $3 million a month in passive residual income. That's outrageous. What if we took that same comp plan with solar? We already pay the highest commissions in the industry. 95% of people that ever come work with us, 95% will make more money with us selling for our company than they will for another company. Why is that? Because we have a Costco model. The membership covers a lot of the overhead, so therefore we're able to pay a true 85% to the field. We're very generous. We operate on 15% margins, and that's one of the keys, right? So we're able to pay 70% and then split the 30% in the field and overrides. So here's what happens. When you've got the high ticket sales of solar, right? And then you also have the infinity pay, We didn't want to do 6 tiers, 7 tiers, 8 tiers. Here's why. You'll even hear people say, I heard this many times. I only work with my first 3 levels. People in my first 3 levels. I only work with people in my first 4 levels. That is the most cringiest, craziest thing I've ever heard. That is not what a leader should say. But when you have a comp plan that pays you through unlimited depth, that is designed in a way to make the most amount of money in overrides, now you've got a winner. So that's why I believe that we're putting the industry on notice beyond a shadow of a doubt. But then again, you also couple it with, we're not just a solar company. So Oncore Solar is our solar division, right? Obviously. The parent company is Build Network. Build Network has other services. For example, we offer home security through 2 of the largest home security companies in America. We offer home security as well, because guess what? The same homeowner that buys solar is the same homeowner that buys home security. And then there's other services that are coming down the pipe. We did not want to be pigeonholed to just being a solar company. Now, don't get me wrong. Oncore Solar is always going to be Oncore Solar. That's what you represent. When you're selling solar, you're representing Oncore Solar. Great. But we want to offer other things. So, for example, we just started offering commercial solar nationwide, right? We're going to offer roofing as a standalone product without anything to do with solar. That's going to be an option that we're going to be able to offer. Because the vision is this. You could only go out on the field and continue to chase deals and chase deals and chase deals until you get burnt out. We want to show people, here's a light at the end of the tunnel. Let me show you a 3-year, a 5-year path to financial freedom, because we've got the comp plan, we've got the infrastructure, the back office, the CRM, the websites to help you manage your business. So the comp plan is called a coded bonus comp plan. I won't get into the details of it, but at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself this question when you are building a comp plan that is based around building teams, right? Once again, our vision is build a team, build a brokerage. We don't just, once again, sign people up to be salespeople. We sign people up to start their own brokerage. Now, whether it's a brokerage of 10 or a brokerage of 10,000, we'll have people with a brokerage of 10 and we'll have people with brokerage of 10,000, right? But the key is this: 2 teams, 2 people is what you need to recruit to build a tremendous passive and residual income. There's some companies that require 20 that you personally recruited, 30, 40. Now you're just getting insulting. For people that know comp plans, they will say, bro, you're insulting my intelligence, man. How do you expect the average person to recruit 20, 30, 40 people themselves? I'm not talking about a total team. They require that of you personally to open up those 5, 6, 7, 8 levels. That is outrageous. When you look at direct sales, the average comp plan, the average person recruits 2.2 people. So we made 2 sides of the comp plan, the passive income and the residual income. You need 2 people. You can focus on selling, making $7,000 to $10,000 commission on every personal sale with a very low red line. Or you can focus on being a mentor, closing mentor sales and making 10, 20, 30. Last month, as we mentioned, we have a guy that made $100,000 in mentor sales from home via Zoom. That's just on his own efforts. So you can focus on that. But for those people that have a bigger vision that say, look, I don't want to just be a traditional sales guy. I don't want to be a transactional salesperson. There's something more than just looking for the next deal. Again, in my first 3 years as a solar rookie, how did my team do 2,100 installs? Now, to some people that's impressive. There's going to be people that scoff. That's not a lot of installs. That's okay. I'm very proud of those 2,100. But here's one thing I'll tell you. We will do as an organization, by February 18th, 2027, we will do 100,000 installs. Average profit are $10,000 per sale. We pay 85% to the field. We're going to pay $850 million in commissions by the February 18th, 2027. Mark my words. The question is, who wants a piece of that? Because you've got a comp plan that pays the highest commissions to the seller. We've got the best leads in the industry in the mentor sales. Once again, that's why my buddy Jabari closed 29 deals from home via Zoom. Okay, last month, in a month. Do the math, 29 times 3,500, okay? That's a pretty penny. But then that's not enough. It's not enough to just pay people good money, to make great money. Great, because what did the pandemic teach us? It taught us that people could get sick. People could be out of commission. What happens if your income is solely dependent on your efforts? You're dead in the water. If your income, it doesn't matter whether you do solar, real estate, other sales, or just a job, irrelevant. If your income is solely dependent on you, you're dead in the water. Because what if you get in an accident? What if you get ill? What if something happens and you can't work, you can't produce money? Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? So we are absolutely passionate, Jay, about showing people you didn't come here to apply for a job. We didn't ask for your resume. You know what we asked for? Do you have a desire to better your life, to help homeowners do right, do it with integrity, but at the same time, build your own brokerage? With a group of 10 people, we can show you how to make a six-figure passive income. But here's the thing though, when a lot of companies could do that. Let's be fair. There's dealers that say, I make a six-figure income with 10 sales reps. Yes, you do. But your people will never make what you make. It's not an equal opportunity. That's where people need to understand. The manager has a better red line than you, and you will never have as good of a red line as he. And the people you bring on board will never have as good of a red line as you do. That model is broken. We are changing the solar industry and doing it right because we come from designing comp plans, from building teams. And it's something that's very interesting. Sometimes sales reps think, well, I don't know how to build a team or I don't know how to recruit. Recruiting is selling. If you know how to sell solar, selling the opportunity is 10 times easier. Selling the opportunity is 10 times easier. And here's the thing. We don't just train people, Jay, on sell solar, knock on doors. Don't get me wrong. We have a door knocking division. One of the things that sets us aside is we just partnered up with my friend Danny Pesci. We offer Danny's training course on door knocking. Our people get 30% discount on all of his events. That is a contract that we have with them. So we endorse it. We are happy about it. The key is this. I don't want you door knocking 5 years from now. Shoot, I don't want you door knocking a year from now. We want to show you how to build a business where you could, if you start on the doors, that you could get off the doors like this. Because you're building your own brokerage and everybody has the same opportunity. Everybody's on the same 70-30 split. Everybody has the same path to manager, director, executive director, and national director. And at executive director, we put 2% of all company sales in a pool. As an executive director, you now override the entire company. Once you get to national director, you pick up another 3%. You're at 5% of all company sales go into that pool. And I'm not just talking about solar sales. I'm talking about home security sales, solar sales, our Smart Money Club membership, which we won't even touch on here. Any of the products that we sell, 2% of that revenue goes into that pool. And the executive directors and national directors split. Now they override the entire company. And what does that do? It creates synergy. I'm not competing against that group. I'm helping them because I'll meet you in the pools, right? I'll meet you in the pools because we now override the entire company. So once again, it's just a matter of time when people find out, hey, this company's culture is a winning culture. They're not a culture of running people to the ground, just sell, and then a couple of us are going to get rich. The owners are going to get rich of this dealer. No. Everybody has the opportunity to build a 6 and a 7-figure passive income with our business. And there's no favoritism. There's no politics. It's based on production and it's based on your merit. It's based on your efforts. And that's the way it should be. Here's the thing. When we wanted to create a platform to sell, we're now in 35 states and growing. Commercial solar, we're able to sell even in more states. But when we're doing residential solar, we wanted to cover as many states. So there was only a few options for a nationwide partner to cover as many states as possible. So we decided to go with the #1 nationwide installer, Freedom Forever. And I believe that they are the absolute best. Now, I'm going to give a lot of evidence to this, right? Are they perfect? There's no such thing as a perfect installer. At the end of the day, we're dealing with permits, we're dealing with rules, we're getting on people's homes. There's a lot of moving parts and there's no perfect installer. But I'm very proud of their track record. I've put deals through them actually since 2020. That's when I first started putting my deals through them. Back then, I wasn't a part of Freedom, but I put a deal through them because it was a lease and the company I was with didn't offer leases. So I've experienced them now for 4 years and I'm extremely happy with them. But here's one of the keys. Why is it so key? Here's why. A lot of companies, Jay, what they do is that they'll use small local installers, a bunch of different small local installers. And here's a problem. The small local installers are also sales organizations. This is super key for you to understand. This is one of the keys to the success. These local installers, what happens is they are their own sales organization. So if you go and you say, hey, I'd like to hire you to be a local installer for me, and you pay them pennies on the dollar, the ones that do accept, they'll say, sure. And guess what? They use you as filler jobs. And that's what I'm talking for personal experience from my team. The biggest headaches came because of using those small local installers. Because think about this. If you're a small local installer and you have 5 jobs you sold, so you're going to make the full amount on it, and you got 5 jobs that a third-party company hired you for pennies on the dollar to install, what are you going to prioritize? You're going to prioritize your own jobs, right? Because you make the full pop on them. You're going to get to my jobs over here whenever you get to them. That model doesn't work. So our installer only, keyword only, uses W-2 employees to install their jobs. It isn't like, oh, yeah, I'll get to your projects later in the week. No, 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 no. This is a part of your job description as an employee of the company, as an installer employee of the company. This is what I need you to do. You need to go pull permits now. You need to go do this now. It isn't like I'll get to you when I get to you, because they're not a hired gun, right? They're not just like a subcontractor. They're actually hired employees of the company. That is major. And guess what? When you use different installers, here's what's happening. Everybody has their own philosophies, their own system, their own CRMs, their own ways of doing business, their own communication. So what happens, it turns into a telephone game. Again, this is what I experienced. 2,100 installs in 3 years. 320 personal sales sold myself in 3 years. So I saw how this circus works. And I said, we're not going to that. When I was talking to Mr. Navarro, the founder, I said, we cannot go that route. We got to get freedom. Freedom is the absolute first choice, but will we be able to get the pricing that we need to be competitive in the market? We're going to find out. And we ended up getting some pricing that was 2 times lower than what I anticipated, meaning I got a better deal. Then I got a better deal than that better deal. Does that make sense? So we're very, very happy with the pricing that we're able to offer to our sales reps. So they're very happy with it. And we have the best local installer that when they show up in a Freedom truck. They show up in a Freedom car to do the site survey. It's an employee. When they show up to install, it's an employee that shows up to install your job, right? Because they're an employee of the installer. They're not a subcontractor hired gun. Does that make sense? That is major. And there's one form of communication. They have the most sophisticated system that exists in solar for communication with the project management, the tickets, the timeline, the average install times, depending on the zip code. All of that you could get tracked. They already invested the millions of dollars into that system. We didn't have to recreate it. We just used what they use, right? So, for example, another thing is this, that a lot of these companies, what they do is that because they use all these different installers, what do they have to do? They have to get all of these project managers. And as they grow, guess what grows? Their overhead grows. Now they need 200 project managers. Now they need 300 project managers. And most of the time they're working from home, not from an office, right? So what happens is, think about this. Let's say a company has just 300 project managers and they're paying them $20 an hour. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars per month in project management. We avoid all of it because we use our installers, project managers that already have one system. Like McDonald's has a system. I don't eat McDonald's burgers. I don't recommend them, but I do recommend everybody watch the movie The Founder, because as network marketers, we focus on building based on a system. Systems is an acronym. Save yourself some time, energy, and money. If you build the right, and that's what we loved about Freedom. They have a system across the United States for all of the places they install, all of the employees. Everybody follows the exact same system. So your communication with your project managers is better. The communication and the timelines for installation are better. Everything is better because it's all systemized, and they're not trying to figure it out. They've been in business since 2011. They have over 100, I think it's now 150,000 successful solar installations. They're the best in the business. They've been on the Inc. 5000 list 5-6 years in a row. So that is why we're very proud to be partnered with Freedom Forever. Yeah, so the mentor program, what drives it is our parent company. So you've got Oncore Solar. The parent company is Build Network. That's our marketing arm. That's a network marketing division. Oncore Solar is a direct sales division. Somebody could choose to be a part of Oncore Solar only, or they could choose to be a part of both, right? But doesn't matter if they're only a part of Oncore Solar. Now, to get to mentor, everybody that's brand new has to do 3 50-50 split sales with a mentor. Once they finish that and they're ready and they pass the certification course, they can start selling on their own. Once they sell 5 on their own, they're able to become a mentor. They take a test and a certification to become a mentor. If it's a solar pro has to do 1 50-50 split sale because they need to learn our system. That's the reason for that. Only 1 instead of 3, and then 5 on their own to become a mentor. But here's what happens when you become a mentor. It's either 6 or 8 sales, right? When you become a mentor, now every new person, which by the way, we pre-launched, our pre-launch event was February 17th. Our launch event is June. We will have 10,000 active members by the end of this year, 2024. By December 31st, 2024, we'll have 10,000 active paid members participating, generating business, generating leads, right? So when you become a mentor with our company, here's what happens. Any one of the reps in the company, let's say right now it's about approaching 600, right? We're a month and a half into our pre-launch, right? Right now it's about 600. As that number continues to grow, when they enter a lead, they click a list and they can see all of the mentors that are available. And they can select whatever mentor they want to select. Now, obviously, when you prove that you're a good mentor, meaning that you are professional, you are able to close a sale, you are reliable, and you actually teach the mentee what it is you're doing from designing the proposal to closing the sale, now you start to get tagged in more mentor deals and more mentor deals. So you don't even have to build a team. Anybody in the company can tag you. Now, of course, if you decide to build a team, which is 100% optional, if you decide to build a team, well, your team is naturally going to select you as a mentor, right? And that was one of my keys to success. I started building while selling. By the time I was 11 weeks in the field, I got off the field, I became a mentor. 40 people in my team started sending me business. I never had to look for a lead ever again. I started late March, early April 2020. By about June, I was out of the field. And ever since June 2020, I never had to look for a lead ever again. And that's what we teach people. You see, once again, we're not just interested in teaching people how to sell. Selling is great, and we teach that strong. But we teach people other skills, public speaking skills, leadership skills, recruiting skills, automation skills. One of the things that we're rolling out here in the next week or two is an AI-driven system for recruiting. To contact roofers, to contact realtors, to contact all the solar pros, where you enter the list of people there, and it'll call and text these people on your behalf and start the dialogue with them to find out if they're interested in the opportunity or not. And if they are, to push them to the right information, like a video like this or corporate overview, because our focus, once again, is showing people how to build a business. Somebody could get started, and some people don't have a desire to close, to be closers. They just want to get started, refer the business, and have a mentor take care of it. Like, for example, we recruit entire offices, EXP offices, Century 21 offices. I got an appointment next Thursday with a big RE/MAX office because they want to open up their solar division, right? So if I go ahead and bring them, and I don't want to be a closer, I can have a closer focus on closing all of their sales, but I override all of those sales regardless. Those sales help me get promoted to manager, to director, executive, and beyond, right? So you can focus on that. A lot of the people that are just builders, they focus on just building a team and overriding the sales from the team, and that's perfectly fine, right? So whether somebody wants to do it on a big scale or on a small scale, whether they want to be a closer or they don't want to be a closer, that opportunity exists. I mean, we've got a bunch of single dads and single moms that just do this to close an extra 3 deals a year and make an extra $10,000 per year. What would they have to do at their job to make an extra $10,000 per year? An extra $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 per year. What happens is, what's beautiful is, I've got a friend who's a barber. His girlfriend recruited him. His girlfriend got an install in 30 days, right? She's got like 2-3 sales now. Her install already happened. She recruited him. He's already at like 4 or 5 sales. He's part-time. He sells through his barber's office. And that's one of the things, right? Because when you have a business model like this, we're not just attracting the young guy that wants to come in here and drink energy drinks all day and go door knock and stuff and fist pump and all that stuff. I love that crowd. But we don't just want that crowd. We want the 60-year-old real estate broker. We want the single parent at home to build a business part-time. What if it takes that single parent at home building their business part-time 2, 3, 4 hours a day? What if it takes them 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years, to make a consistent $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 per month? Would that be worth it? Yes. Yeah. Then you got some people that come in here and say, look, my goal is $1 million a month in the next 5 years. We have an opportunity for the guy that wants to make $1,000 a month and the guy that wants to make $1 million a month. We have an opportunity, and everywhere in between. That's the opportunity that we offer. We're much more than just a solar company. These closing thoughts are not just for solar specialists. They're just for any sales rep. It could be a realtor. I've got a friend, not a friend, an acquaintance. He is with eXp Realty. The guy makes $1 million a month. Before he started with eXp Realty, he used to make $200,000 a year selling real estate. Now the guy makes $1 million per month. He lives half of the time in Puerto Rico, the other half in the States. Puerto Rico, if you understand, for tax reasons, especially when you're making that kind of money, you make moves like that, right? And guess what? I think EXP requires him to have one escrow close every 6 months. One escrow close every 6 months to qualify for his overrides. $1 million a month in real estate. Not because he's closing that many sales, that'd be impossible, but because he's got a team of people that are doing that. If your income is solely dependent on you, you're dead in the water. You've got to look for alternatives. In 2024, there's alternatives with much smarter comp plans. Of course, I'm biased. Do we have the best comp plan? You give me a lie detector test, we do. But it's not just about that. It's about the training. It's about the leadership. It's about the culture. And the last thing I'll say is this in the closing thoughts is this. Ask yourself this question. Do you think that in the next 30 years, 20 to 30 years, America will go renewable energy? If you've paid a little bit of attention, if you are a little bit savvy in business, the answer to that question will be yes. All of those people, 90 million homes and growing, are going to be somebody's customer. We're at a 4% market penetration. Every 1%, we're at 4% market penetration. So we got another 96 to go. Every 1% that we go up, that's about a potential $5 billion in commissions. So you got 5 billion times 96%. What percentage of that do you want? We are literally in a moment in history that will be talked about in the history books for decades, even centuries. When the world moved to renewable energy, when America moved to renewable energy, there's billions, if not trillions of dollars to be made in this industry in the next 20 years. What piece of that do you want? But you could only get so much of a piece if you are a transactional salesperson or if you got a little bit of team and you know that the comp plan you have is not built to grow. You've got to have a comp plan where you could eventually be overriding 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 people. With these overrides, some people are going to miss a boat. For those people that are not in the solar industry, that are watching this video, I would highly recommend. They say that you got 2 opportunities to get wealthy in your life. I don't know if this is the first opportunity. I don't know if it's a second, but I guarantee you it's one of them. No doubt about it. This is one of those 2. Maybe it's your first one. And maybe you'll get another opportunity in the next 10, 20 years. I don't want to wait 10, 20 years. I'd rather get wealthy right now. And lastly, the quote that I always say, that I've been saying since 2020. A famous billionaire once said, if you want to get wealthy, identify where the masses are going and get there first. Ladies and gentlemen, the masses are going renewable energy. This is the best kept secret in business. I'll see you at the top or from the top. Take care.